Welcome one, welcome all to the final episode of Final Fantasy 1. We just have to traverse this room and approach the final boss. We're a little low on HP and MP. Better use this Mega Elixir. I'm sure I have somebody frothing at the mouth for that. Level 61. I was absolutely right. I recognize that sprite. Do you remember me? I was once known as a Knight of Cornelia. Yeah, you might recognize the sprite too. That's because it is in fact Garland, the first boss of the game. And no, we did defeat him. We defeated him, but he didn't die because the four fiends sent him back into the past. And once he was here, he sent them into the future. And they will now send him back into the past so that he can send them back into the future. Okay. Why though? Seriously, what is this accomplishing? It can't be immortality because they don't retain any memories. We kill the four fiends in the future, and then Garland in the past sends new ones in the future. They're the same things, but they're not the same because they don't have their memories. And Garland in the past would die of old age. So they're not accomplishing anything. What is the plan here? Well, he turns into his final form, Chaos. Nice sprite. Nice battleground, I have to say. This boss is deceptive. Because I said he's harder than the Death Machine because he has lasting power but doesn't deal as much damage. The thing of it is, because he has lasting power, you have to pay attention to your hit points. He might not be doing as much damage, but, you know, he's got attacks that can deal decent amounts of damage. It's never going to look dangerous, but the fact is, it's all piling up, and it does enough that it is warranted to pay attention, especially when he starts single targeting. And you know, the strategy I employ here works in this version because we have magic points and, you know, elixirs and stuff. You have to approach this fight way differently in either versions of the game that use the original magic system, because you have limited spells. You know, you have to go through this entire dungeon knowing that this fight's intense and you're going to want your white mage to have her mass heal spells ready. So, buy them potions. Use them potions. But in a version with the MP, you know, do what you do. Now, when I said Chaos has lasting power, I meant it. Keep the numbers of damage we're doing in mind, because this fight takes a while. I decided to use an elixir here to trigger more people, and to see what that looks like in combat, you know, during an encounter. I hope I succeeded at both things. Well, I know I succeeded at showing it. I just hope somebody's frothing at the mouth angry at me for wasting supplies. You know, you cast Kiraja, you ass. Quit wasting elixirs. But let's analyze Chaos's sprite for a second, because that's a cool sprite. Just look at all the detail, and I think the weirdest part is that little face in his groin. You know? What's up with that thing? It's just a little angry face. I don't know why it's there. And he's got 2 skulls for knee pads. Always be safe. But no, Chaos is cool. I just like how at the end of it all, you know, the first boss of the game, Garland, was important enough to be the final boss of the game, and you could transform to Chaos to do it. Oh, but I'm being rude and talking over the final boss track, so... I figured I'd give a little sample there. I dig this track. This may be my second favorite final boss music in the Final Fantasy franchise. It's certainly a good one. It's energetic. You know, it's indicative of the situation. This is it. We're there. We beat him. We've saved the world. Yeah, at this point it starts repeating his attacks. Those look awesome. They're like level 5 magic, essentially. But our Null Blaze can stop that one at the very least. Yep, just keep your hit points up, because he might sneak kill somebody. But with that, Guy throws in the final punch. And Chaos is defeated. We don't know how long this time loop has been going on, how many times it's repeated, I should say, but Guy just fixed the time loop by punching it. Okay, it's maybe not that badass, but it was the punch that saved time. And as we approach our ending, a still image of this forest with text going over it because of limitations. The time loop was severed at last. The endless struggle that raged over 2,000 years had ended, and peace prevailed once more. See, the text is going to make it sound like it was a good ending. Like this was a nice, good ending and everybody's happy in the end. Well, if we apply a little bit of logic, we're going to realize that it was more of a lukewarm ending at best. The time loop is fixed, time can finally flow free and true, and we can move on from this. Kind of. When I say we, I of course can't really mean we, because, folks, we're in full butterfly effect at this point. There are no paradoxes that happen. You know, just... We were sent back in time to fix this, and we fixed it. The paradox might have been that, you know, since we fixed it, there was no need to send us in time in the first place, and thereby nobody fixed it, sort of thing. No, we fixed it. However, the consequences would be that, now the 4 fiends weren't sent to the future. We killed them in the past, and then we killed Chaos. So, 400 years ago, Tiamat was supposed to show up and wreak havoc across the land. Kraken was supposed to do so later, but Tiamat's the important one. All the people Tiamat killed survived. All the people who would have been displaced by Tiamat stayed where they were. This means certain people would have never met. This means certain people who were never have been born were born. Well, that's great, except what happens to the people who now can't be born because their parents never met because the situation wasn't right? How many people did we just cast into oblivion? You know, and the ending's going to bring this up too, but our great reward for saving the day is to be forgotten and never needed at all in the first place. Nobody's gonna know this ever happened because it never happened at all. And so we weren't needed, and quite possibly we were never even born. So, you know, yay! You can go with my version of events, or if you've been reading, you can go with these versions, which suggests everything went happy and was all willy-nilly and squeaky clean. But I prefer the logical outcome. Because, you know, there it is. It means the chain never existed. One of these sentences will tell us that, or maybe it already passed, that told us, yeah, nobody remembered us. Nobody remembered they needed us. It's so messed up. But it had to be done because we were stuck in a time loop. Time kept repeating over and over again, and there really was no reason for it. You know, as I said, there was no immortality we gained. See, the four fiends were sent into the future by Garland. They sent him into the past once they got here, saving his life. We then kill them, and, yeah, assuming we never went back in time, those ones are dead. So, Garland in the past sends the four fiends into the future, where he would then die of old age at the very least. Yeah, I'm just not seeing the benefits to any of this. I think I haven't been reading the text. I think we're at the part where it keeps repeating itself over and over again. This ending just never ends. Well, lukewarm ending or good ending, I'll let you be the judge. You can either take my logical side of things or take the text at face value. Sorry for not reading it, I wasn't going to read that whole thing. And it continues. Well, that's the end of it anyway. So that was Final Fantasy 1, the game that started it all. What a game. It is a little simplistic, but that's fine. It was on the NES. It was one of the, earliest JRPGs. Not the first. There were others such as Dragon Quest before it. But it would certainly improve on the formula. Just look up images comparing the two battle screens, and you'll see what I mean there. But it is simplistic, and that's not a bad thing, It was a fun time, and that's all that really matters. Pretty simple plot. I can't complain about that. Final Fantasy would eventually get complicated plots, and, well, that can be unfortunate. Oftentimes it ends up like, well, kind of like Final Fantasy 1, where its plot is simple, and even the convolutions are simple, but it's still convoluted in a way, whereas future installments would be complicated, and thus their convolutions would be complicated, I'll play some more in the future, though, that's for sure. I love this series. I love to make fun of it, too. But no, I would recommend Final Fantasy 1. You watched me play it. Maybe you want to play through a different way. See what Thief and Black Mage are like. See what strategies you can come up with. I don't know. I'm old and stuck in my ways. This is how I've been playing the game. Well, the Game Boy Advance version for years now. I should play the PS2 version. Just so that I can't have magic points and elixirs and stuff. I should probably actually play the NES version. You know, get past my hatred of those primitive graphics and just give it a try. And I might do that. But that's the end. We're at the end of Final Fantasy. I can't believe it. I didn't know how this was going to turn out. But I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it and talking over it like an asshole. Alright. I'll see you for whatever's next. Have a good day.